Deep within each of us lies a powerful archetype, the creative rebel, a force that urges us to see the world not just as it is, but as it could be. This is the part of ourselves that refuses to settle for the ordinary, that hungers for meaning and transformation. The creative rebel isn't the rebel who destroys for chaos, but the one who builds new ideas, art systems, and ways of being. They are the architects of possibility, the ones who see blank spaces as invitations to create. Creative rebels are artists, inventors, and leaders who question the straight line and imagine a better curve. They challenge the status quo, not out of defiance, but out of a deep desire to make things better for everyone. Their uniqueness isn't a choice, it's an essential part of who they are. They stand out, not because they want attention, but because they can't help but be themselves. They operate from deep authenticity, knowing that fitting in is not the same as belonging. They understand that true belonging only happens when we show up as our real selves, not as a version shaped by others' expectations. Belonging demands showing up as your true self, even if it means standing alone. Sometimes, the bravest thing we can do is to be ourselves, especially when it feels risky or uncomfortable. Guided by an inner compass, creative rebels value truth and integrity over popularity. They make choices that align with their values, even when those choices are misunderstood or unpopular. Their journey is about daring greatly, stepping into the unknown with no guarantee of success. They know that every act of creation is a leap of faith, and that growth only happens outside the comfort zone. What sets them apart is their relationship with vulnerability, knowing that creating is always a risk. They embrace the uncertainty, understanding that it's the birthplace of all that is new and meaningful. They feel fear, but don't let it decide for them. Instead, they use fear as a signal that they're on the edge of something important, something worth pursuing. Vulnerability, they know, is the birthplace of innovation and change. It's where the magic happens, where new ideas are born and old limits are broken. The creative rebel isn't rare. It lives in all of us. It's not reserved for the famous or the boldest. It's a spark inside every person, waiting to be noticed and nurtured. It's the part that dreams, questions, and whispers, "What if?" It's the voice that nudges us to imagine, to wonder, and to reach for something more. The rebel's journey is universal, trusting ourselves enough to share our gifts, even when it's scary. It's about being willing to be seen, to risk failure, and to keep going anyway. It's about choosing courage over comfort. Every time. Each small act of bravery adds up, shaping a life that's true and meaningful. This is the call to dare differently, to answer the world not with resignation, but with creativity, courage, and hope. Trusting your inner voice is not just a quiet act. It's a bold declaration that your perspective matters. For the creative rebel, this is the foundation upon which everything else is built. It's the wellspring of originality, the source of every authentic idea. In a world that constantly shouts who you should be, what you should want, and how you should act, listening to your own wisdom becomes a radical act of self-respect. Your inner voice is your compass, quietly pointing you toward meaning, purpose, and the path that is uniquely yours. Trust is built not in grand gestures, but through small, consistent acts, pausing to listen, journaling your thoughts, honoring what you hear, even when it's inconvenient. The biggest risk isn't what others think, it's daring to be wrong, to fail, to look foolish, and still choosing to show up as yourself. Rebels step away from the crowd, drawing their own map as they go, trusting that the unknown is where discovery lives. This takes profound self-trust, believing in your vision before anyone else can see it, and nurturing it even when doubt creeps in. The inner voice is subtle, a gut feeling, a spark of excitement, a quiet knowing that whispers rather than shouts. Learning to trust it means making space for silence, practicing mindfulness, and allowing yourself to slow down enough to truly hear. It means tuning out the noise, turning off distractions, stepping away from the constant buzz, and reconnecting with your own rhythm. Each time you honor your inner voice, you strengthen your authentic self, building confidence from the inside out. This isn't selfishness, it's the root of true compassion and courage, because only when you're true to yourself can you truly show up for others. When you're grounded in your truth, you become a steady presence, able to support and uplift those around you with genuine care. You become reliable and authentic, no longer pretending to be someone you're not, and your joy becomes contagious. The journey of trusting your inner compass is a return to yourself, a homecoming to the person you were always meant to be. That's where the rebel's true power begins, in the courage to listen, trust, and follow the voice within. Breakthroughs don't follow a straight line or a perfect plan. They rarely arrive when you expect them, and almost never in the way you first imagined. Instead, they emerge from the messy, unpredictable process of creative exploration, where mistakes are made, ideas collide, and nothing is certain. For the creative rebel, breakthroughs often arrive unexpectedly, during a walk, when the mind is free to wander and connect distant thoughts. Sometimes, they appear in the middle of the night, or in quiet moments, when the world is still and your mind drifts into new territory. They're born from curiosity and the willingness to ask, what if? To challenge the obvious and imagine the impossible. Rebels wander off the beaten path, embracing the unknown and ambiguity, knowing that the greatest discoveries often lie just beyond what's familiar. They see failure as data, not defeat, and treat every setback as a clue that brings them closer to something new. They persevere when others give up, fueled by a stubborn hope and a belief that the next attempt might just be the breakthrough. The breakthrough isn't the destination. It's a surprising landmark on the journey, a moment of clarity that changes everything. Great inventors and artists didn't plan their genius. It came from tinkering, from connecting unlikely ideas, and from daring to experiment without fear of being wrong. Rebels see patterns others miss, unconfined by convention, and they're willing to follow their intuition even when it leads them off course. Play is essential. They explore, experiment, and have fun, making new connections and discovering joy in the process itself. The magic happens when you step away and let your mind wander, giving your subconscious space to work in the background. Rebels build time for unstructured exploration, knowing breakthroughs can't be forced. They must be invited, patiently awaited. The process matters more than the outcome, because it's in the act of creating that new possibilities are born. Trust that the answer will find you when you least expect it, often when you've let go of searching. That's where true innovation is born, in the wild, unpredictable spaces where curiosity, courage, and play come together. The creative rebel's work never happens in isolation. Their vision ripples outward, changing how others see the world. By sharing their perspective, they challenge assumptions and invite new conversations. Their art, inventions, and ideas heal, connect, and inspire. Rebels in every field, artists, scientists, activists, dared to be different and change the world. Their courage creates a collective shift, reminding us the world is a work in progress. When one person stands in their truth, it awakens courage in others. The rebels' vulnerability becomes a source of strength for the community. Their legacy is not just what they create, but the creativity they inspire in others. This is how society evolves, through the courage of those who dare. The creative rebel's path leads straight into the arena, where we share our true selves and face critics. Fear of rejection is primal, but the need for creative freedom is stronger. To silence your creative voice is a kind of self-betrayal. Rebels choose freedom over safety, authenticity over approval, again and again. This isn't a one-time act, but a daily practice of courage. Yet the struggle with fear can make us deaf to helpful feedback, isolating us. The challenge is balancing self-trust with openness to others' wisdom. True freedom isn't building walls, but developing resilient self-worth, independent of external validation. When grounded in this, we can listen to feedback without crumbling. We learn from mistakes without shame. We dare to be seen, imperfect, and creative. This is the ultimate freedom for the creative rebel. The arena is where we find our voice, and where we inspire others to find theirs. The most damaging deafness is to our own inner voice. The world's noise, expectations, judgments can drown out our truth. We start doubting ourselves, silencing our ideas to feel safe or accepted. This is self-abandonment, handing our authority to the crowd. Fear and shame fuel this silence, making us spectators in our own lives. The antidote is intentional listening, carving out time to tune back in. Small acts of courage, sharing an idea, saying no, starting a project, rebuild trust in ourselves. Each time we honor our voice, we amplify its wisdom. We remember our perspective is unique and valuable. Reclaiming our voice is a process, but it's how we reconnect with our creative genius. Your voice matters, let it be heard. Here's your invitation. Start listening to your inner rebel. Begin small. Find a quiet moment. Ask yourself, what creative thing am I called to do? The act itself is less important than the intention to listen and honor your voice. Your inner critic will show up. Acknowledge it, but act anyway. Courage is built in small steps, not grand gestures. Be brave for 5 minutes, then 5 more. This builds trust and self-respect. Stay open to others' insights, but develop discernment. Seek feedback that helps you grow. Surround yourself with supportive people. Community is essential for the creative rebel. Take one small step today. Honor that creative nudge. It's the beginning of your own rebel's journey. You just have to be willing to start. Imagine a world where everyone feels safe to embrace their inner rebel. Workplaces, schools, and communities would buzz with creativity and innovation. To build this world, we must change our relationship with failure, seeing it as essential, not shameful. Organizations need psychological safety, schools need to value curiosity and creative problem solving. Leaders, parents, and friends must learn to give helpful feedback and celebrate courage. When someone takes a creative risk, respond with encouragement, not cynicism. By doing so, we co-create a more courageous world. The benefits are immense: more innovation, beauty, and compassion. Most importantly, we create a more wholehearted human experience. It starts with each of us choosing to be brave and inviting others to do the same. Every one of us has a unique genius within. It's not just about art or science, it's the ability to bring something new into the world. This genius is your birthright, waiting beneath layers of fear and conformity. The only barrier is the fear of rejection. Let go of needing approval. Claim your worth and your voice. When you do, you unlock the power to create and transform your life and the world. Your genius isn't something to find, it's something to uncover. Trust that what you offer is exactly what the world needs. No one else can bring your gifts to the table. Begin by listening to your inner voice and daring to share what you create. You'll feel fear and vulnerability, but also exhilarating freedom. Step into the arena, the world is waiting for you. Dare greatly.